So how important is the gaming world to the music world, right? There's a lot of intersection points between the two worlds, a lot of correlation as to the fans, how both markets kind of affect pop culture or, different music cultures versus different gaming cultures. And needless to say, music is a huge part of gaming and vice versa, right? So I want to highlight a few developments in the industry and kind of talk about why it's important, what you have to look forward to as an independent, artist or DJ or producer or a major artist, and kind of what's on the horizon. What are some of the things that are happening in the industry that I know about, either directly through my connections or just articles that I stay up to date with and try to do some research on the side just to see where everything is going. So let's sort of break that down real quick. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? My name is Matei. Another day for Music Biz Daily. If you want to know what my team do, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Also, make sure you hit that link in the bio. And when you do, click on our NDR's Accelerator, because if you're in the music industry, you got to be in that community if you want to take your brand to the next level. And also, make sure you check me out weekly on Twitch with Clinton Sparks. We have a new segment called Music Biz Weekly. On all of his shows, I show up 3 times a week. It's always a dope conversation. You're always going to learn a lot of gems from that as well. But let me get into this topic on how gaming and music industry are so intertwined together. So, the most recent article that I read is with the Ibiza, well, put it this way, the Rockstar game company, which owns Grand Theft Auto, is partnering up with one of the major promoters in the underground EDM world, the Rocco Loco promoters, to create their own label, right? And why does it make sense to create their own label? Well, specifically in Grand Theft Auto, since they enabled sort of the live gameplay, where you're online and you could just walk around the different cities and the different, virtual worlds that are created, and you don't necessarily have to follow the gameplay or the game story. You just kind of do whatever you want in the game if you ever play Grand Theft Auto. But in the new online version, there are sort of clubs in the game where you can walk into as the character, and you could choose the type of music you can listen to, or really let me rephrase that, when you walk into the club, there's a DJ in the club, in the game, playing a certain set, mixing some songs or putting it on the show. Obviously, when you get into the vehicle in Grand Theft Auto, or even some, aircrafts and things like that, you could choose from radio stations that are sort of playlists that you can listen to music from. And my understanding, I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in a while, since college, but my understanding is that now you can create your own playlist. So when you get in your own vehicle, you can play your own songs being pulled from a digital streaming platform, or Rockstar Games directly has a licensing deal with a lot of these major labels, so they can pull whatever catalog is available through that licensing deal. But the part that I'm excited about, that I want you guys as artists, DJs, or producers to kind of recognize and be aware of, is the fact that in this virtual world, just because of the way the game is played, going into a particular club, there may be a DJ that's now signed to this new label in this partnership with this, EDM promotional company. And that DJ or the Rockstar game developers may literally create a custom specific DJ set for that DJ that's signed to that label, right? So imagine Marshmello, because everybody knows him. He's not signed to this new label. He's actually got to deal with Create Music. Shout out to Create Music. But let's say Marshmello was part of this label, this collaboration, and he had his own show on a Friday evening in the game of Grand Theft Auto. You could be at your house, throwing a party, inviting all your friends over, not necessarily even playing the game, but you can turn the game on when everybody comes over. You can walk into this club, pay the fee of $20, $40, whatever the ticket price is, or whatever the add-on charge is for you to be able to walk into that club and experience this DJ set. And now you kind of just walk your dude or your character into this club, and all of a sudden, DJ Marshmello puts together a 2-hour dope set, and it entertains your entire living room and your entire Friday night party. So that's where things are going, and it's not a new thing that we're seeing. If you guys follow the gaming world, Fortnite has put together a virtual concert with Marshmello, actually, with Travis Scott as well, which I think generated $12 million in revenue just through that one event. So there's kind of merging of the video game world and music is going to continue. You also see a lot of major artists like Logic going to Twitch and sort of being gamers. T Grizzly was on Clinton Sparks this past Monday, and he's becoming a gamer like during COVID, you know, despite just being an awesome artist and putting out great music. He got into gaming, and now he's gonna get a gaming deal, you know what I'm saying? So this world is constantly being intertwined. There's a lot of other artists that are good at like NFL games, the NBA, 2K games, things of that nature. So that world is continuing to intertwine, and gaming, the gaming world, the EA Sports world, the Rockstar games, all these different gaming platforms are generating millions because a lot of consumers, just believe it or not, love to watch people play games. You know what I'm saying? So, and music is a part of it. If you're playing a game, you have music in the background, whether it's through the gameplay or just, you know, playing out of your own speakers. But if you're on Twitch, the way it comes across to the consumer, Twitch, for example, is to make sure that both the music is allowed to be played or has some type of a license or an agreement that it's okay to blast the speakers in the background, as well as the game while the game is going on. So, you know, this also impacts the legality or legal aspects and operational aspects of the two worlds, and they have to, you know, a lot of innovation is going to happen, including the holograms, you know, Tupac hologram on the Coachella stage. All of this kind of, in my opinion, kind of goes hand in hand because we're going to get into a world where virtual reality and holographic like imagery and like, you know, augmented reality, which is essentially you being almost like in the real world by wearing certain glasses where it looks like holograms are appearing left and right, you know, around you in the real world. That's all starting to bridge together, and it's all content, right? And content a lot of times involves music or musical pieces, so that's all to look forward to, and all that is merging together, right? But I mainly wanted to make this video off the latest article that I read about Rockstar's collaborating with one of the biggest, you know, EDM underground promoters to form their own label because it makes sense for the game itself. I guess, you know, Rockstar Games, they collect data about every single player that gets on PlayStation or, you know, Xbox 360 or these different gaming consoles to figure out their demographics, age groups. They definitely know what they're listening to because you could track that in the game. So, you know, I say that to say, why didn't Grand Theft Auto maybe team up with a rap label? Or maybe they will in the future. Maybe that's coming. Maybe, you know, EDM was sort of the first thing that I identified in terms of data, that it was like the largest segment of music being listened to during the gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Just like when Peloton sponsored or created a business relationship with Beyonce to bring her on as one of the, you know, endorsers of the brand and gave her some equity for it. It wasn't just because they loved, like the owner of Peloton is obsessed with Beyonce, loves her music. They did that based off the data. It turned out that Peloton users on the, you know, bikes or whatever you do on the Peloton happen to listen, not primarily, but if they had to pick one artist with the largest streaming, you know, percentage of that platform, it was Beyonce. I'm sure there were maybe 3 other artists on that list that if Beyonce said no, they were either close seconds, or maybe Beyonce was the second one, and the top one maybe could have been, I don't know, Taylor Swift, just an example, and maybe she declined, and the next person in line was Beyonce. They approached her, she made it. But anyways, these deals are made off of data. These different, you know, technology sectors or these cultures are heavily intertwined. So I just wanted to give you a video on some of these things to look forward to. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know that follows me is sort of a gamer and an artist or both, or how are you guys integrating these two passions together? Can you integrate them so, you know, you can increase your potential of future revenue, things of that nature? I want to know. Let me know in the comments. Let's continue discussion in the comments, and share this video with whoever needs to see it. Save it, like it, dislike it. I don't care. Just give me some feedback, and I'll see you guys in another video as always tomorrow for another day of Music Biz Daily. Peace.